The spirit of the world. The Bible describes two diametrically opposed spirits, the spirit of God and the spirit of the world. These two spirits are also called the spirit of Christ and the spirit of Antichrist, and each propagates a different viewpoint, the viewpoint of God versus the viewpoint of the world. These two spirits are in direct contention, and it is of vital importance that the Christian be aligned with the right one. Do not be surprised, brothers, that the world hates you. We know that we have passed over from death to life, because we love the brothers. The one who does not love remains in death. Everyone who hates his brother is a murderer, and you know that no murderer has everlasting life remaining in him. When we are aligned with Christ, the spirit of the world is at war with us, and this expresses itself in persecution, ridicule, and opposition. In fact, by linking your life with Christ, the world's reaction to you will be the same as the world's reaction to Christ. These things I command you, that you love one another. If the world hates you, you know that it has hated me before I hated you. If you were part of the world would be fond of what is its own. Now because you are no part of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, for this reason the world hates you. Keep in mind the word I said to you, a slave is not greater than his master. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have observed my word, they will also observe yours. But they will do all these things against you on account of my name. Because they do not know the one who sent me. See what sort of love the Father has given us, that we should be called children of God, and that is what we are. That is why the world does not know us, because it has not come to know Him. Do not be surprised, says John, if the world hates you. In fact, be surprised if the world doesn't hate you. For this is an alarm bell, a signal that we may well be enamored enough by the world to be hardly distinguishable from it. Remember, it is impossible to be aligned with both with God and the world. Keep doing all things free from murmuring and arguments, so that you may come into the blameless and innocent children of God, without a blemish in the midst of a crooked and twisted generation, among whom you are shining as luminaries in the world, keeping a tight grip on the word of life, that I may have reason for rejoicing in Christ's day, knowing that I did not run in vain or work hard in vain. However, even if I am being poured out like a drink offering on the sacrifice in the holy service to which your faith has led you, I am glad, and I rejoice with you all, and I rejoice with all of you. In the same way, you also should be glad and rejoice with me. The glory of this world. One of the things that hinders a Christian from seeing the reality of the world's corruption is that it actually looks good. The garbage is not obvious, it becomes wrapped in pretty paper. There is something enticing about the world's values. This is because it panders to the very core of the old self. It promises great things: beauty, wisdom, power, and fame. Everything the old self holds dear, and it boasts of great glory. Just to take one example, look at the glamour of Hollywood, the pageantry of the movie stars, the glory of the Oscars. This is the height of worldly success, yet it is all colorful tinsel enwrapping a putrid mess. Look behind all the Hollywood hype, all the real lives of the movie stars, the divorces and heartbreaks, the drug dependence, the suicide rate. This is the product of the very best that the world has to offer. And yet so many people model their lives, their values, their hopes, their dreams on what comes out of Hollywood. They are chasing a glory that is just in the gift wrap inside the box. There is nothing new, merely the same old corruption and decay of the old self at work. Their end is destruction, and their God is their belly, and their glory is really their shame, and they have their minds on earthly things. The glory of this world is the glory of the deified self. There is an apparent glory enough to attract the undiscerning person, even as a flame attracts the moth. But as Nebuchadnezzar discovered the hard way, the glory of one's own achievements is fleeting. Even Babylon the Great now lies in the dust. 12 months later, he was walking on the roof of the royal palace of Babylon. The king was saying, "Is this not Babylon the Great, that I myself have built for the royal house, by my own strength and might, and for the glory of my majesty?" While the word was yet in the king's mouth, a voice came down from the heavens. "To you it is being said, O King Nebuchadnezzar, the kingdom has gone away from you, and for mankind you are being driven away. With the beasts of the field your dwelling will be, and you will be given vegetation to eat just like bulls, and 7 times will pass over you, until you know that the Most High is ruler in the kingdom of mankind, and that he grants it to whomever he wants." At that moment, the word was fulfilled on Nebuchadnezzar. He was driven away from mankind, and began to eat vegetation just like bulls, and his body became wet with the dew of the heavens, until his hair grew long just like eagle's feathers, and his nails were like birds' claws. At the end of that time, I, Nebuchadnezzar, looked up to the heavens, and my understanding returned to me, and I praised the Most High, and to the one living forever I gave praise and glory, because his rulership is an everlasting rulership, and his kingdom is for generation after generation. All the inhabitants of the earth are regarded as nothing, and he does according to his own will among the army of the heavens and the inhabitants of the earth. And there is no one who can hinder him, or say to him, "What have you done?" At that time, my understanding returned to me, and the glory of my kingdom, my majesty and my splendor returned to me. My high officials and nobles eagerly sought me out, and I was restored to my kingdom, and even more greatness was added to me. Now I, Nebuchadnezzar, am praising and exalting and glorifying the King of the heavens, because all his works are truth, and his ways are just, and because he is able to humiliate those who are walking in pride.